HMV 100 motor and reproducer test. This is machine number 868. They do have a number plate, but it's actually, I forgot, it's hidden under the motorboard in the motor compartment. No model numbers are on the plate, just a simple number, that's it, the serial number. But everybody knows it's an HMV 100 anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now, normally I would not play a machine of this era, which is 1925, with a record from the 40s or late 30s, but this is actually Benny Goodman, It's After You're Gone. That was pressed in India, but this record was the one that was in the record compartment. So I'm going to assume this was the last record played on this machine, 60, maybe 70 years ago. So that's the one I will use to do the test. Why not? And the motor took a tremendous amount of scrubbing. Not unusual with HMVs. I never find that with anything but HMVs. And sometimes the Electrolas, the German version, it's like cement. Just absolute cement. The motor was locked solid. I had to soak it in a special rust removing compound, which there's no rust on the motor, but this compound also removes any kind of shellac type residue, which is what this was, probably whale oil residue. Came right off after soaking all night long, and now everything's back together. Motor's got a little bit of more voice that I'm used to, a little bit more noise, but other than that, I imagine that'll wear in eventually, or I'll have to put some graphite on the governor's gear there. It's a plastic gear there, not plastic, probably bakelite or some kind of fiber gear. I don't want to push it with that by putting liquid lubricants on there or grease, so I'm going to get some powdered graphite, which I know I have somewhere, but got to dig it out. Don't use it that often. And I'm going to put that on there. That'll quiet it up a little bit. It's in good shape. There's nothing wrong with it. I've never seen one fail, but, well, I have on the Swiss machines, not on these. I don't want to, rock the boat on that one, because where do I get another one if it screws up? But here we go. Let's test it. Oh, the tone arm is now free too, as you can see. This is why they changed the stay to the other side of the machine. It's just too close here. Makes it very clumsy to get it. I already have a needle in there. Don't do that if you're going to close the lid. But watch. There it comes. Boom. And we're up. Look at that. And then it rests right there like that. All right, let's fire it up. And let's put Mr. Goodman on. And let's see. go. That's the original exhibition reproducer that came with the machine. It has been completely rebuilt and is playing very well. And played this record very well, so much for some people who think they need a number 2 or a number 4 reproducer to play an electrically recorded record, such as this from the later period, which is not true. The exhibition does a pretty good job. And in the end, the Victor Company actually went back to the exhibition for some of their lower priced machines, even in the orthophonic era. But this is his master's voice. As I mentioned in the last video, it's part of the patent sharing going on between Victor and HMV. This is the Victor version right here. As you can see, they are identical except for the writing that is on the face. Same exact thing, no different. Put that away where it won't get hurt. And everything's pretty good shape. I'm going to, clean up the case a little bit. It's a little dusty. It's not really in bad shape at all. None of the joints were loose. It's been set to 78 RPM. And this is going into my collection. And before anybody asks if it's for sale, I really had not planned to sell it. However, there's always a price on everything. But you'll have to pay the not for sale price and the I haven't played with it enough yet price. So that's, could be up there a little bit. HMV 100s are just a lot of fun to play with, and they're very easy machines to work with. Always change your needle after every play of a record because needles are not expensive, records are irreplaceable, and once you have destroyed the record, you get more. You can buy needles, 100 of them, for a few dollars on eBay. They're not expensive or hard to find. The low tone, medium tone, loud tone. This is a loud tone one, because that's what I happen to have with me. There's actually some old needles in the needle box, but I don't really trust those because I don't know if they've been used or not. You never really know. You want to be careful here so you don't scratch that reproducer. Something else I don't like is that they have to rub on that. But it does keep the reproducer in place. It doesn't move around when you're, doing your walkabout with it. And that tone arm support was solidly locked up also with ancient, oils and crud in there and shellac. I mean, it had turned to shellac, basically. It had to soak also, but now it's smooth as silk. Pops right up out of there. I do need to clean that felt a little bit more. Got a nice decal on this one. No scratches or anything on there. A lucky find. A very lucky find. And I'll be experimenting a little bit to try to quiet that motor down slightly. Either with the graphite or a little bit of adjustment here and there. But then again, I've never found any of my HMV 100s or early 101s to be especially quiet. Once the record is playing, you don't notice anyway. But it just irritates me slightly. So I'll probably be doing something with that in the near future. But right now, it's okay. And it may work itself in. I'm going to play another, 30, 40 records on this, and it might quiet itself out. And I did put a handle on there. This is not the correct handle. This is a handle for a 101 and the 102. But it's all I had in stock, so that's what it's going to use, and I'll be able to carry the machine around. This good handle's probably better than the one that was on there, because when one of these handles loses its leather, all you're left with is a metal skeleton. So at least you got something you can still pick the machine up with. But the ones they used on these were all leather, and once they rot away, they just fall off and you drop the machine, so that's not good. So this is not one of the HMVs I recommend that you pick up by the handle. However, any of the 101s and 102s, go right ahead. You're not going to hurt anything by lifting it by the handle. It's what it's intended for, and it is stronger than the rest of the machine, I think. HMV 100, number 868, 1925, early model. Stay there, and the leatherette or the Rexin used here to hold up the record tray. And it's a good shape too. It's not even cracked. And there we go. On to the next project.